Alright, so, okay. Camera, stop moving, please. Please. There we go. So, before we begin talking about guns, I'm just going to give a quick, pretty much overview of what you might want to have, just to make paper guns. Paper guns is actually more easier, believe it or not, to make than cardboard guns. At least with the way I do it. For me, when I make cardboard guns, I use hot glue and cardboard. But there's other people who use just tape as the adhesive to keep things together, which works. But basically, with paper, it's kind of more accessible to most people, to more people, because paper you can pretty much just buy for like so cheap, or you can also just find it in, you know, recycling bins or something. So, you know, with cardboard it's a bit different. You gotta make sure the cardboard ain't oily, make sure it's nice and pristine cardboard. It doesn't have any like pre-made fold marks or hasn't been bent in any way. And with paper you can pretty much just take this and, you know, just make something out of it. And before I get into before I go on and on about like comparing which is more easier to make and which is more accessible, basically I'm just gonna let you guys decide that. Alright, now I'm just gonna show you the things you might want to have when you basically want to go make I'm so tired for some reason. When you want to go make a paper gun. First things first, you want to have a marking utensil. It may sound weird now, but you will not believe how many times a pencil has come in handy for me. Someone's calling. I do not know how to turn this. Close the door. Close the door. There we go. So yeah, you want to have marking utensils. You also want to have some scissors or cutting device. Here is a kitchen knife. You don't have to use a kitchen knife, but I use it just for those extra, you know, after I folded a piece of paper many times and I need that extra oomph, and there we go. But if it's just a basic cut for this piece here, then those would work. Actually, you know what? It might work because it's kind of hard, because sometimes you might have to cut a piece of paper that's been folded up many times, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 times, you know, to make maybe a slide or something. And, you know, this can only cut so many layers. How, like, I think most I'd want to go for with this kind of scissor is like 2 or 3. Well, this one can easily take on 6 to 8 layers of paper. So basically, have scissors, but use the one appropriate to your situation. Basically, if you have multiple layers, use this. It's like 1 or 2, use that. Now, tape. Basically, you can use pretty much any tape. I personally prefer packaging tape, so I have multiple rolls on me for whatever occasion or whatever reason. And rulers, straight edges. These will definitely help make sure your gun is in a very well, pristine, not pristine, but kind of relatively straight condition. Basically, it'll help to measure the gun out if you're trying to go for that extra accuracy of scaling. So, and also to make sure everything is nice and straight, so they actually will match up and not go wonky on you. Now, let's put that right here at the bottom, where you can't see it. Oh, you can now. And you don't have to, but also in terms of cutting device, you can also have a razor to help cut the very fine edges. Would work, but normally you don't really need that unless it's like a super fine piece. But it's good to have, not need. Then you don't need not have. And some other things, believe it or not, you might want to have, or maybe a package of paper clips. Paper clips actually saved my hide a lot in terms of making these guns. So they may not seem like much now, but if you have a package of paper clips, I suggest you have one on hand whenever you make a gun, because these things are small, easily malleable, or in this case you can fold it with your hands, and if you need it, you can actually cut it pretty easily just by bending a certain way. Many times it'll just snap in half. So these allow for some structural support while also being very small and minimalistic. I mean, it's literally just a metal rod bent into shape, so I don't see what could possibly happen. And that's about it. I don't think there's anything else you might need in terms of tools. No, that's about it. I mean, you might occasionally see me break out a plier here and there in the future. I'll let you know now, but that's only meant for this piece to bend it out. That's about it. You can do it with your hands beforehand. Like, basically bend it out and make the shape you need before you tape into the gun, rather than put it in the gun and then try and break it, which I've done many times, and I ended up doing something bad, like making it crumpled or something. But yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much what you need, basically. Essentially speaking, though, all you pretty much would need is just tape, pencil, and a scissor, and everything else, you know, I'm pretty sure you can go without. At least for the beginning, we're not really going to need the paper clip or the utility cutter or the ruler to some degree. Maybe, I don't know. The point is, these are kind of much like when I make a gun, this is pretty much the stuff I have on hand for whatever reason. And, excuse me. And, I guess another thing you can have is like a laptop or a phone if you're going to make a gun, having it as a reference. But that's like a completely different topic that I'll cover later in the future. But for now, just keep in mind, paper is pretty important. Paper, marking utensil, scissors, and tape. And then you'll pretty much be set on the get-go. Sometimes you may not have this kind of tape. Maybe Scotch tape might be all you have. Oops. But yeah, please, don't worry. As long as you have tape or something to keep the parts together, you'll be golden. So, there we go. And yeah, that's about it. That should probably cover hopefully the very first part before we get into the actual possible gun making. So, there we go. My name is Tailman. I'm so happy I prefer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hopefully learned something from it. I hope. And yeah. Let me cut this real quick because it's bothering me. There we go. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, you guys, be chill.